Since 1980, we have had some variation of a Grand Prix in Imola, a town in the Emilia Romagna region of Italy. Originally named the Italian Grand Prix, it was then renamed to the San Marino Grand Prix, and then again to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix as we know it today. But honestly, we all just call it Imola. Over the years, we've had extremely high highs at Imola and extremely low lows. But is Imola truly as great a track as everyone claims, or are its days on the F1 calendar numbered? I want to give a full disclaimer before we even start that Imola is one of my favorite tracks on the current F1 calendar. The racing is great, it's historical, it's an old school racing track, and it's a home race for Ferrari. But Imola also has a dark side. It's been home to some tragedies over the years and was even removed from the F1 calendar for a prolonged period of time due to some of these safety concerns. So what really is the truth about this iconic F1 track? Well, hit that subscribe button and let's find out. So what actually makes Imola such a great track? The track originally opened in 1953 and given its geographical location right in the heart of the Emilia Romagna region close to motorsport legend Ferrari, it quickly saw its share of action. The original Grand Prix layout was held from 1953 until 1972, and the lap record is held by none other than Dr. Helmut Marko himself. Fun fact, eh? After that, the layout of the track was switched and now included 8 more turns than the original configuration. This version of the track was kept until 1979, and the lap record is held by Gilles Villeneuve. I guess I should have saved the A for this one. Oh well. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Starting in 1980, we had the first official Formula 1 Grand Prix at what was then known as the Italian Grand Prix. But since Monza already existed and held the name of Italian Grand Prix, the Grand Prix at Imola was renamed to the San Marino Grand Prix until 2006. During this time, we had a run of some incredible racing, as well as some true tragedies that we'll touch on soon. Michael Schumacher holds the track record during this time, and finally, after being off the calendar from 2006, in 2020 we saw a return to a new and improved Imola, now renamed as the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, which is the one we know and love today. Lewis Hamilton holds the track record here from a rapid lap back in 2020. Although it may be difficult to overtake at parts, there are many changes in elevation and iconic corners that make it a favorite on many drivers' list. On top of that, the Tifosi are out in full force as with any Grand Prix that is held in Italy. Imola truly is one of the most beautiful tracks on the F1 circuit. Sure, Imola may be a great track. I mean, it's named after Enzo and Dino Ferrari. There's no way it should be disappointing. But there's quite a dark side to this F1 track as well. It's considered one of the deadliest F1 tracks and is infamous for killing one of the greatest F1 drivers of all time. Imola is a very difficult track for drivers. There's a lot of speed involved, as well as technical corners, elevation changes, tight chicanes, high-speed corners, and the list goes on and on. In fact, there was a large gap when Formula 1 races weren't held there from 2007 until 2020 because originally the track was considered unsafe, and although they had made the necessary changes, the FIA decided not to reinstate the track onto the F1 calendar. You know there has to be a good cause for keeping a track off the calendar when it's such a great circuit with so much history. Imola has unfortunately been host to a truly tragic weekend. Back in 1994, during the San Marino GP, 2 drivers were unfortunately killed. During the qualifying session on Saturday, Austrian Roland Ratzenberger died after crashing head-on into a wall at 310 km per hour. And just the following day, 3-time world champion Aryton Senna crashed into a concrete wall and died hours later in the hospital. This was an absolutely tragic weekend for Formula 1 at the time, and although the Grand Prix continued to be held in Imola, they immediately had to implement changes to the track to ensure the safety of the drivers. No one wants to see a life-threatening accident in any motorsport, and although it's been happening a lot less than in the past, it's still an aspect of these motorsports that will always be present. Today, in 2024, safety is at an all-time high, and the Imola circuit is also catered towards these safety concerns that drivers rightfully have, while keeping the magnificent racing that we know and love from it. So what does this mean for the future of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix on the F1 circuit? Given that Formula 1 is so heavily influenced by money today, it's never easy to actually say what will happen with the track going forward. As long as it has a contract, it's safe. But after that, it's basically a free-for-all. We live in a world where the discussion of whether a track like Spa will continue to stay on the calendar. Sure, there need to be changes made there as well, but to consider removing it from the circuit entirely is absolutely crazy. However, when it comes to Imola, I do think Formula 1 and Liberty Media will look towards keeping it on the circuit. It is currently under contract until 2025, and given the huge increase in Formula One fans, the large market in both Europe and Italy for Formula One, I don't see why they would want to step away from Imola. It fits perfectly within the European leg of the season, it's a track loved by many, and honestly, tickets can be priced expensively and still get sold out. It's a win-win for Liberty Media from all points of view. Unless concerns about safety or other unforeseen circumstances come up, I personally would bet that we will continue to see the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix on the calendar for a while. Imola is awesome. Yes, I know I've said that enough this video, but it's true. Going into Tamburello at full speed, the dip at Acqua Minerale, the speed carried through the corners at Rivazza, it's all part of the magic of a complete lap at Imola. Although it does have some dark stains on its past, there have been many efforts being made to cater it towards the safety that we require today in 2024 for motorsports and Formula One specifically. I personally would love to see Imola remain on the F1 calendar for a long time to come. Thank you guys for watching this video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to share it with your friends. Let me know down in the comments below whether you think Imola will be remaining on the F1 circuit going forward. Make sure to subscribe and see you guys next time. Bye.